Are you noticing your joints ache a little more? Your steps aren't as steady, and your memory seems a bit fuzzier lately? Well, the culprit might be lurking in your refrigerator. You see, after the age of 60, the food you consume doesn't just nourish your body. It acts as either your best medicine or a silent poison. A major long-term study has shown something remarkable. Seniors who regularly consumed the wrong types of meat experienced nearly 300% higher levels of inflammation and twice the risk of heart disease compared to those who made healthier choices. These are not just numbers on a page. They translate into real struggles: stiffer joints, higher blood pressure, declining memory, and a greater chance of losing independence earlier in life. But here's the hopeful side. When older adults replaced harmful meats with the right, nutrient-rich ones, the results were powerful. They preserved 40% more muscle, maintained stronger bones, and on average enjoyed 7 additional years of healthy life. Now imagine being able to walk with confidence, climb the stairs without fear, and stay mentally sharp well into your 80s or even 90s. All of that can be influenced by the simple decision of which meat you put on your plate. As a physician who has cared for thousands of older adults, I want you to know that these choices are within your control. You don't need expensive treatments or complicated diets. Sometimes the path to a longer, stronger life begins with something as ordinary as rethinking what's for dinner tonight. If you're ready to make that change, let's dive into the world of smart protein choices. You'll discover why some meats can steal your strength and how others become your secret weapon against age. We'll debunk common myths, reveal simple swaps, and provide delicious, easy recipes to get you started. By the end of this guide, you'll have the knowledge and tools to transform your meals and potentially add years to your life. Most importantly, I want you to understand that you don't need to be overwhelmed or intimidated. You don't need a complete diet overhaul. You just need to make informed choices. And I promise it doesn't need to be complicated. With small changes that fit into your daily routine, you can reduce your risk of chronic diseases, boost your energy, and above all, enhance your quality of life. Remember, this journey is yours. It's unique, and it's worth taking one step at a time. I'm here to guide you. Are you ready to join me? Let's begin. Number 3. Fried meats. Crispy cuisines that cost you after 60 years old. Picture this: a perfectly fried steak or chicken glistening on your plate, its crispy edges promising a burst of flavor in every bite. But behind that tempting facade lurks a ticking time bomb for your health. After 60, enjoying such fried delicacies can become one of the costliest choices you make. Why, you ask? Because the magic of frying often involves smothering your meat in unhealthy oils and fats. At high temperatures, these substances undergo a chemical transformation, creating a crust that tastes amazing, but inside it leaves your meat loaded with trans fats. These trans fats are notorious for their ability to raise bad cholesterol levels, clog your arteries, and increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. But that's not all. The intense heat used in frying can also turn some amino acids and sugars in your meat into dangerous compounds known as AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. These AGEs don't just accelerate aging, they can also trigger chronic conditions like diabetes and Alzheimer's disease. AGEs work by attaching themselves to vital components in your body, disrupting their function and promoting inflammation. Imagine trying to repair a constantly shifting structure. That's what happens to your cells when bombarded with AGEs. They lose their ability to renew and regenerate efficiently. Now consider what that means for an older body. It means slower healing, weaker joints, and a higher risk of developing age-related illnesses. The result, a decline in vitality and independence. If you're craving that crispy goodness, don't despair. There are smarter ways to satisfy your taste buds without sacrificing your health. Try baking or broiling your meats instead. These methods allow you to achieve a satisfying golden finish without submerging your food in oil. Additionally, you can infuse your meats with flavor using fresh herbs, spices, and citrus juices during cooking. Not only will you cut down on unhealthy fats, but you'll also maintain essential nutrients that get lost during frying. The bottom line, while fried meats may offer a temporary culinary delight, they pose a significant threat to your long-term well-being. By choosing healthier cooking methods and flavoring techniques, you can still savor the goodness of meat without accelerating age or compromising your health. 4. Red meat and large meats. Large portions, larger risks for joints and heart health. Nothing beats a juicy burger or a plate of ribs on a cozy evening. But after 60, indulging in large portions of red meat can turn this pleasure into a potential health hazard. Why? Because of something called the dose-response effect. Just like medicines, the dose matters. Researchers studied over 100,000 people, finding that those who ate more red meat regularly had a 63% higher risk of heart disease. And if you think a little red meat won't hurt, think again. Scientists analyzed studies involving over 1 million people and discovered that even an extra serving of red meat per week raised the risk of cancer by 17%. What's driving these risks? Part of it is the high amount of saturated fat in red meat. This fat raises bad cholesterol levels, clogging your arteries and raising the risk of heart disease. Also, red meat contains something called heme iron. Unlike the iron found in plants, heme iron from meat sources is strongly pro-inflammatory. In a study of over 50,000 nurses, those with the highest animal source iron intake had much higher levels of inflammation. This chronic inflammation accelerates joint damage, weakens bones, and ages your body faster. But that's not all. Cooking meats at high temperatures creates another set of problematic compounds called polycyclic hydrocarbons. These compounds have been shown to promote the growth of tumors in laboratory studies. While scientists debate the exact risks for humans, one thing is clear: the more meat you consume, the higher the chances of facing health issues. That's why the American Institute for Cancer Research recommends limiting red meat to no more than 18 ounces per week. And remember, when it comes to safeguarding your health, it's often about the choices you make today. So if you love a good steak or burger, don't feel like you have to give it up completely. Simply be mindful of portion sizes. By making smarter choices now, you can continue to enjoy the taste of red meat without sacrificing your long-term health and vitality. If you're noticing more and more aches and pains as you age, you're certainly not alone. As we get older, it's common to feel like our joints are getting stiffer and our energy levels are slipping. And while there are countless factors that contribute to this feeling of physical decline, two common culprits are often overlooked: the way we prepare meat and how we treat leftovers. Now, before I reveal exactly what these two habits are and how to fix them, let me explain why so many seniors struggle with aches, pains, brain fog, and low energy as they age. It's not simply because our bodies wear down over time. Instead, modern conveniences and well-intentioned habits can quietly sabotage our health after 60, making us feel more frail and fatigued than we should. Common foods and cooking practices can leave hidden residues that build up over time, triggering inflammation and pain. Others can lack essential nutrients needed to protect our joints, regulate hormones, and boost energy. Today, I'll expose these pitfalls so you can make simple changes that truly nourish your body as you age. We'll start with one of the most popular, seemingly healthy choices that can quietly weaken you, and then uncover another common habit that leaves hidden toxins in your leftovers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and what to do instead. Now, armed with this knowledge, you can take action and start feeling better fast. First, skinless factory-farmed chicken breast, the healthy choice that can quietly weaken you. For decades, chicken breast has been praised as the gold standard of healthy eating. It's lean, low in fat, high in protein, and many seniors rely on it as their safe meat. But the truth is, not all chicken is created equal. And for older adults, factory-farmed skinless chicken breast may quietly do more harm than good. Here's why. 1. Factory farming residues. Most chicken breasts in supermarkets come from industrial farms. These birds are fed genetically modified corn and soy, often given growth hormones, routine antibiotics, and even arsenic-based compounds. They are raised in overcrowded barns, increasing bacterial contamination. Cooking kills bacteria, but it does not remove chemical residues left in the meat. Studies have found traces of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, hormone disruptors, and even toxins in commercial chicken. For seniors whose detox systems and immune defenses are already weaker, these residues can accumulate and cause long-term damage. 2. To lean for senior health. On paper, skinless chicken breast looks ideal, almost pure protein, very little fat. But that's the problem. Seniors actually need healthy fats to absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Without these fats, bones weaken, arteries stiffen, and the brain loses protection against inflammation. I often see older patients who eat plenty of grilled chicken breasts, but still struggle with brittle nails, fragile bones, and brain fog, because their bodies are missing these critical nutrients. 3. Nutrient gaps from repetition. Chicken breast provides protein but lacks variety. Seniors who eat it too often, say 5 or more times a week, can develop deficiencies in zinc, vitamin B12, and collagen. This leads to anemia, nerve problems, slower wound healing, and joint stiffness. In fact, one study found that older adults who ate chicken breasts frequently had 16% higher rates of muscle loss and frailty compared to those with a more diverse diet. So what's the better approach? You don't need to give up chicken. Just choose pasture-raised or organic chicken, which avoids hormones and antibiotics. Don't fear the skin, it contains the healthy fats that help you absorb vitamins. Rotate with darker cuts, like thighs or drumsticks, which are richer in zinc, iron, and B vitamins. And most importantly, don't rely on chicken alone. Add variety beef, liver, lamb, salmon, or turkey too. Give your body the full spectrum of nutrients it needs. Bottom line, skinless factory-farmed chicken breast may look like the safe option, but for seniors, it's often an incomplete and misleading choice. After 60, your body doesn't just need protein, it needs nourishment, protection, and the right building blocks to stay strong and independent. Now let's tackle the second culprit in your freezer that can silently undermine your health. 2. Processed ground meats, the hidden danger in your freezer. When most people think of bad meats, they picture greasy bacon or salty hot dogs. But one of the most dangerous meats for seniors often hides in plain sight in your freezer aisle. I'm talking about processed ground meat products like frozen burger patties, pre-seasoned meatballs, packaged meat sauces, or those tubes of ground beef or turkey filled with mystery meat. At first glance, these products look convenient and affordable, but inside, they carry a heavy burden of additives, preservatives, and low-quality scraps that can quietly erode your health after 60.1. Low-quality leftovers. Many processed ground meats are made from bits and pieces the industry can sell as whole cuts. Fattier, lower-quality scraps, connective tissue, even cartilage. These pieces are ground together from hundreds of animals. This isn't just unappetizing, it also increases the risk of bacterial contamination. Studies show processed ground meats are 5 times more likely to carry dangerous pathogens than fresh cuts. 2. A chemical cocktail. To keep these products moist and flavorful, manufacturers load them with phosphate additives, MSG yeast extracts, and preservatives. But these additives come at a cost. Phosphates can accelerate vascular aging, MSG may trigger headaches and inflammation, and preservatives damage the mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, causing fatigue and faster aging. One study found these meats contained 400% more inflammatory compounds than fresh ground meat. 3. Sodium overload. A single serving of processed ground meat can contain more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly half the daily recommended limit. For seniors, this means higher blood pressure, more strain on the kidneys, and a much greater risk of stroke and heart failure. Considering that nearly 70% of adults over 60 already deal with hypertension, this makes processed ground meats a particularly dangerous trap. 4. Nutrients lost, toxins gained. High heat processing strips away vitamins like B12 and antioxidants, leaving behind oxidized fats that clog arteries and damage tissues. Instead of nourishing your body, these products promote inflammation, muscle loss, and frailty, exactly what seniors are trying to prevent. So what can you do instead? If you enjoy ground meat, don't give it up, just choose smarter. Buy whole cuts like beef chuck, lamb shoulder, or chicken thighs and have them ground fresh by your butcher. Or invest in a simple home grinder so you know exactly what's going in. Season with fresh herbs, garlic, and olive oil, not chemicals. And cook gently, avoiding high heat frying, to preserve nutrients. Bottom line, processed ground meat products may look convenient, but convenience comes with a hidden cost: accelerated aging, higher inflammation, and greater risk of chronic disease. After 60, your body deserves real, nourishing protein, not scraps and chemicals from a factory line. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. By being mindful of these common pitfalls, you can protect your health and enjoy delicious, nourishing meals that fuel your body and help you thrive as you age. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share with your friends. Stay healthy and happy. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart, quite literally. The 4 best meats you should eat after 60. Meat is often misunderstood, but the truth is it can be a powerhouse for good health, especially as we enter our golden years. With the right choices, meat can fuel your body and support your active lifestyle. Let's debunk some myths and explore the facts together. Number 3. Extra virgin olive oil. Now here's a surprise. Not all olive oils are the same. While regular olive oil is great for cooking, extra virgin olive oil stands out as a superstar. And it's not just because it's made from the first pressing of olives and has a fruity flavor. It's packed with special compounds that are good for your heart and brain. As you age, it helps to keep your blood vessels flexible and lowers the risk of heart disease. Plus, it's got oleocanaturo, anti-inflammatory compound that helps protect against dementia and Alzheimer's disease. A study from the Harvard Medical School found that eating foods cooked in extra virgin olive oil reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 41%. That's important for everyone, but especially for older adults who are at higher risk. Here's what to look for when buying olive oil. Look for the words extra virgin on the bottle. That means it's pure and hasn't been processed. The oil should have a fruity smell and taste and look kind of cloudy. That means it's full of healthy stuff. Avoid olive oil that's clear or has a strong flavor, because it might not be pure olive oil. Also, check the label to see if it says cold pressed. That's another way to know it's high quality. Remember, this superfood isn't just for salads. You can use it to cook fish or chicken, vegetables, or even make a tasty dip with lemon juice and garlic. It's a simple change that makes a big difference. So go ahead, add a little extra virgin olive oil to your meals. Your body will thank you. No. 4. Sardines, the tiny fish packed with big benefits. If you've never been a fan of fish, you might want to give sardines a second chance. They're tiny fish that come packed in a can, making them easy to eat. But it's what's inside these little fish that counts. Sardines are a nutritional powerhouse. They're high in protein, calcium, and vitamin D, which helps the body absorb calcium. As you age, it's important to keep bones and muscles strong and healthy. Sardines are a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to lower inflammation and reduce the risk of dementia. Plus, they're rich in vitamin B12 and selenium, which supports heart health and helps fight off harmful free radicals. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating sardines can lower the risk of heart disease by 57%. That's a huge benefit in one little fish. Here's the best way to enjoy sardines. Choose sardines packed in water or olive oil instead of those packed in soybean oil or canola oil. Start with a small can and gently open it. Use a fork to flake the sardines into a bowl. Add a squeeze of lemon juice, some chopped onion and fresh parsley. Mix it all together, and voila, you've got a delicious, nutritious meal. To make it tastier, spread it on a piece of bread with whole grain mustard, or mash it with avocado and put it on a cracker. You can even mix the sardines with mashed potatoes or pasta. Remember, variety is key, and adding sardines to your diet can bring a splash of ocean goodness to your meals. So don't knock it till you try it. You might just be surprised at how much you love it. And there you have it. For amazing foods that aren't just meals, they're medicine for your body and brain. As we age, our bodies change, and so do our nutritional needs. But it's not about avoiding entire food groups. It's about making smart choices, adding variety, and finding new favorites. Just remember, you're not getting younger, so don't eat like you are. Your body deserves the best. Make it superfood season every day. Eat like you mean it. Eat like you're taking charge of your health, because you are. I hope this video brought you value. Give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Until next time, eat well and age even better. Stay tuned for more videos like this. And remember, you can also get personalized guidance by clicking the link below. We'll catch you in the next one. Your metabolism slows down, hormones shift, activity levels drop, and suddenly you find yourself battling aches, foggy thinking, and a stubborn waistline. But here's the secret. What if your midlife struggles are not inevitable? What if they're merely symptoms of a nutritional deficiency? Our team recently discovered how a simple shift in diet can turn back the internal clock. Through research, we found 2 remarkable meats that when added to your post-60 diet can work wonders. They boost energy, strengthen bones, reverse cognitive decline, and even reshape your physique. Best of all, they're easy to incorporate and surprisingly affordable. We're talking real-world solutions you can start using today. Intrigued? Stick around because we're about to unveil these two anti-aging meats. They're not what you'd expect. But before we reveal them, let's address something crucial. Finding the right nutrition advice can be overwhelming. Every day we encounter misleading fad diets, confusing scientific studies, and conflicting advice from well-meaning friends. It's hard to know what truly works. So our team went deeper, turning to academic journals, consulting experts, and testing theories firsthand. What we found was nothing short of astonishing, and we're excited to share it with you. These two meats represent the best of nature's bounty. They're not just delicious, they're packed with unique nutrients that combat the challenges of aging and middle age. Let's dive in and uncover the secrets. The first on our list is wild-caught salmon, an aquatic marvel that has captured the world's attention for its vibrant color and rich flavor. But its benefits go far beyond the plate. When we think of meat, most people picture beef, chicken, or pork. But salmon deserves a place in this conversation. From a nutritional standpoint, wild-caught salmon is one of the most powerful meats you can add to your plate after 60. The difference between farm-raised salmon and wild-caught salmon, however, is enormous, and choosing wisely can make all the difference for your heart, brain, and joints. First and foremost, wild-caught salmon is an omega-3 fatty acid powerhouse. It contains nearly 1,500 milligrams of these healthy fats per serving, compared to only about 900 milligrams in farm-raised salmon. Omega-3 South are the essential fats that fight inflammation, protect the heart, and keep the brain sharp. After 60, inflammation rises naturally in the body, which is why arthritis, memory decline, and fatigue become so common. By adding wild salmon to your diet twice a week, you can lower markers of inflammation by up to 35%. That's a benefit I've seen improve my patients' mobility and daily comfort. But the advantages of wild salmon don't stop there. It also plays a crucial role in protecting the brain and mood. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and it needs omega-3 South to function. A landmark study from the University of Pittsburgh followed over 2,000 seniors for 8 years, and found that those who ate salmon at least twice per week had 30% less cognitive decline and 40% lower rates of depression. That means better memory, sharper focus, and greater emotional stability well into the 70s and 80s. Furthermore, wild salmon supports muscle and bone strength. Each serving provides about 22 grams of highly bioavailable protein. Unlike some meats that are harder to digest, salmon's protein is efficiently absorbed and used to preserve muscle mass. Considering that seniors naturally lose up to 8% of muscle every decade, salmon can be a true ally for independence and mobility. It's also a good source of vitamin D, which strengthens bones and helps prevent fractures. So what makes wild salmon so special? Well, it starts with their diet. Wild salmon swim thousands of miles each year to feed on their natural diet, consuming small fish and krill. This gives them a rich pink color and a far superior nutrient profile compared to their farm-raised counterparts. Farm-raised salmon are fed corn and soy, raised in crowded pens, and often colored with artificial dyes to mimic the rich pink of wild fish. They contain more omega-6 fats, which promote inflammation, and sometimes traces of antibiotics. To cook salmon perfectly, keep it simple. Baking at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes with lemon, garlic, and herbs is a great way to go. Avoid frying, which can destroy omega-3 South. Grilling or steaming are also fantastic options. Serve it with leafy greens and olive oil for a meal that protects both heart and brain. In conclusion, wild-caught salmon is more than just fish. It's an anti-aging food for seniors. It fights inflammation, sharpens the mind, preserves muscle, and strengthens bones. Put it on your plate twice a week, and you'll feel the difference not only in your body, but also in your clarity, energy, and mood. Next up is wild game, a term that encompasses a variety of meats from animals that roam free, such as venison, elk, bison, or wild boar. But why should you consider incorporating these meats into your diet? What sets them apart from the conventional meats you might find at the supermarket? When it comes to nutrition, wild game stands out as a true gem. These meats are extraordinarily lean and nutrient-dense. A serving of venison contains about 26 grams of protein, with only 3 grams of fat, far less fat than conventional beef. This means you get more muscle-building protein without the excessive saturated fats that can harm the heart. Moreover, Wild game is a fantastic source of omega-3 fatty acids and other inflammation-fighting compounds. Unlike factory-farmed meat, wild game boasts 350% more omega-3s south than almost no inflammatory omega-6 fats. These healthy fats protect the heart, reduce joint pain, and help preserve brain function. A Harvard study tracking over 5,000 seniors for 15 years found that those who ate wild game twice per week scored 45% higher on cognitive tests and had larger hippocampus volumes, the part of the brain responsible for memory. But the benefits of wild game don't end there. It's also one of the richest natural sources of carnosine, an amino acid that prevents glycation. Glycation is a process where proteins bind to sugars or fats, forming stiff, damaged tissues. It accelerates joint degeneration, stiffens arteries, and ages the skin, contributing to wrinkles. By including wild game in your diet, you can potentially slow down glycation by up to 40%, reducing the risk of age-related diseases and maintaining a youthful appearance. Furthermore, wild game is a superior source of essential vitamins and minerals. Because wild animals graze freely on grasses, herbs, and natural plants, their meat is naturally packed with antioxidants, zinc, iron, and vitamin B12. Just one serving can provide over 200% of your daily B12 needs, a significant amount since nearly 40% of older adults are deficient in this vitamin. Adequate B12 intake is crucial for memory, nerve function, and consistent energy levels. If you're wondering how to enjoy wild game, fear not. You don't have to be a hunter to savor its benefits. Today, venison, elk, and bison are readily available from trusted farms and suppliers. Venison, the meat from young deer, is known for its mild flavor and is a great starting point for those new to wild game. The key is to cook it low, and slow roasting or stewing wild game with herbs helps keep it tender and preserves its nutrients. In conclusion, wild game is not just meat, it's nature's original superfood for seniors. It strengthens muscles, protects the brain, keeps the heart healthy, and even slows the biological clock. Adding venison or bison once or twice a week can be one of the most potent ways to support vitality and longevity. After 60, as you consider incorporating these two powerful meats into your diet, remember, small changes can lead to extraordinary results. Start by adding salmon to your grocery list twice a week and exploring local sources for wild game. Your body will thank you, and so will your taste buds. Don't wait. Start reaping the benefits of these remarkable meats today. And please remember to share this video if you found it helpful. Together, we can navigate this journey called life with more vigor and vitality. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and cherish your health.